I think there's only 1 million real people in the world. And I only believe that because my friend told me something about a million souls in some philosophy book or something that he read. And so now that is just my firm belief, or at least it has been for like the last month. And I kind of thought it anyway. Basically, since about 2 years ago, I've kind of just been very aware of the fact that I am what seems to be ahead of everyone else around me. Like, I don't know if that's because of who I surround myself with, and it just seems to be a bunch of degenerates, but like, everyone just doesn't care about their job, apart from the odd one or two people. But like, people just don't seem to care about their future. It's kind of the angle that I'm coming from, and it's like my friends from high school, but they have no concept of like being able to do something for their future self. And it's like, if you don't save money now, what are you going to do 10 years from now? You're not going to be able to buy a house. You're going to have to, I don't know, it's just so dumb. And they don't get a good job, and they'll say, like, I can remember a distinct conversation with one of my friends, and he works at just some shitty restaurant and makes, like, probably under minimum wage. And he was like, yeah, because I turned 18, and I was working in finance and insurance company, like, straight away. And I was like, when are you going to get a real job? You know, maybe rude to say, I don't know. But I wanted to know, because I was just curious about what he's going to do with his life. And he said, I don't know, probably just going to live my life for a bit, just finished school, so I'm just going to live my life and just chill with this job. 3 years later, he's still there. He's been there since he was 16, so he's been there for 5 years now. And I've tried to help him get jobs before, and he just doesn't care enough, like he just doesn't try. Because he just doesn't have the ability to realize that if you don't do something now, your future will look like this as well. Like, if you want a nicer life, you have to do something about it. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And I guess a lot of people probably just don't even care in the first place to even want a better future. Maybe that's what it is. Like, maybe people just don't even care the fact that their life's going to be shit in 10 years' time. And I'm not saying mine isn't also going to be shit. I mean, I'm still in a fucking 9-to-5 job, but like, my salary might be 100k, and I can live in a nice house and have a nice car and pay for nice holidays and stuff. Whereas if I'm living paycheck to paycheck, getting minimum wage, I'd hate my life. At least I think I hate it a lot more than being on 100k. My job might be AIDS, but, at least I'm making money worthwhile. And it's the same kind of concept as well. It goes for, like, the gym. So, again, I started going to the gym around the same time, just a little bit before I started working, like, a full-time finance job, which I don't work now, but I used that to get myself into the position I'm in now, which is a much better position, and the trajectory for me from where I am now is way better. So yeah, I'm very happy with where I am right now. And I think my pathway is exactly aligned with the goals that I have and like where I want to be. Anyway, it doesn't matter. No one cares. Yeah, so like I started going to the gym, and like I've seen so many people just come and go, and I've never once quit. And I don't want to like sound like I'm sucking myself off and being like, oh, I'm just so much better than you because I can do this and you can't. Because I mean, in like high school, I was never like the fit and healthy guy, like I was just the guy that was like slow, not fat, but I was just always like super skinny, tall, but like physically just incapable of being good at a sport unless I practiced it for like a year. Like table tennis I got really good at and I was better than everyone else at, but I practiced it for like a year, so obviously I was going to be better than everyone. But like, people are naturally better than me at pretty much everything. But then intellectually, like when it came to actual subjects, which I should know the name of, academics, Jesus Christ, yeah, clearly I'm so smart, I was like naturally smart at that. So it was like, I had the trade-off, and I think I'm glad I had that, although it led to like a lesser good experience in high school because, in high school, if you're good at sport, people like you more. It's kind of just how it goes because you're deemed as cool and you're a nerd if you're smart. But I just embraced it, and people still liked me, and I would think I was just funny. Or at least I think people found me funny. I don't know whether they were laughing at me or with me. It kind of felt like they were laughing with me, and I played into it. So, they were laughing with me. I mean, I had a YouTube channel back then as well, and I posted videos for everyone in my school to watch. There was a bit of an embarrassment ritual, to be honest. I don't know how I managed to do that and like not care. I embraced it. That's what I mean. Anyway, if you want to see that channel, let me know. Anyway, we're getting a little off topic here, but it's so the whole thing of like people not being awake, like the angle I'm coming from for it is like, if you aren't able to do something for yourself in the future by doing something now, you just aren't a real person. Because how do you not care? Like, how does it not bother you that you are just basically fucking up your life? But like, you're doing it to live a better life in the short term, but then you're not even living a better life in the short term because you're just chud maxing. I can't believe I just said that. Oh my god. That makes me want to kill myself. See, I'm not even real. But it goes deeper. Like, it's not just like being able to think about your future or like being able to do something now, but it's also just like your social awareness. I think is a big thing. Like being able to put yourself in someone else's position and actually see how something would affect someone else. Like, say you did something to someone, being able to see how it would make them feel if you were in their position. So many people just genuinely, maybe even can't do that, but I know people that just, most people I know just don't do that. And if you don't consider that when you take an action, it's like, are you real? Because how do you not? Like, I don't know, the way that I live my life, I always think about that, and it's like, I think I've said like a lot. The way that I go about my day-to-day life, I'm always thinking my actions, like, okay, if someone did this to me, how would I feel? And I take that into account with like everything that I say or do to someone that I'm not like actually really close with, that I don't give a fuck how they perceive what I say, because I can just actually be myself with them. And I'm not saying don't be yourself, but I'm saying you should be aware of the way that you're coming across to people that you don't know, because I think you should always try to be polite and just nice, because kindness is what gets us through everything. I saw a video earlier and it was some philosophy video, which it's a whole other kettle of fish that I want to get into, but it was survival of the kindest. It was talking about that, and it was like, as humans, the reason we were able to become the dominant species is because we were able to work together, and being able to work together requires being kind to people, and they come hand in hand. But yeah, there's so many other factors, and like I just don't think I've even had the actual time to just sit down and truly think about like what makes you awake as a person. But I really want to, because I think it's so fascinating. And I do see myself as someone that is actually awake and living my life aware of it and the days that go by. Although sometimes I do just snap into like this moment and I'm like, whoa, my life has been going on constantly since the minute I was born, obviously. But like sometimes you just get into autopilot mode and the days just fly by and you're like, holy shit, like this is happening right now. And I feel like some people never even have that snap. They never experience it ever. And for me, it comes pretty often. And like, obviously, you have your first big one. I'm not saying it like it's some event that happens to everyone, because obviously I just said it only happens to 1 million people. But I'm just saying, like, it's something that happens, and that's when you realize you're actually a real person on a planet, that you are in a society that you have to fit into. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I just think, like, when you're walking around and you think, like, oh, all these people have lived their own lives, and they have memories that you will never perceive or be able to understand or anything like that. I honestly think they don't. And I don't know. I don't want to say, like, I don't want to head down, like, the we live in a simulation path, but it kind of feels like this is where it sort of leads to when we get down this whole topic of conversation. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Definitely didn't get as deep as I wanted to with that, but oh well. Here's my reaction to dying. This game I should have fucking won. I can't believe I didn't, bro. I was so mad. No way! Bro, that is such a free win. Oh my god. For fuck's sake, man.